our medical center. It's a new medical center, and it's a medical center that meets our basic medical need as a Polytechnic community. Presently in this new medical center, we have at least 4 consulting rooms. That means we can see 4 patients at the same time. And also we have a well-functional health records where people get their card retrieved quickly. And also we have a pharmacy section where we give drugs and medications as needed.
This is the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro. Welcome to this special documentary on the transformative leadership of Dr. Mukail Aremu, Akinde, FCA, FCIT, Rector of the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro. Since assuming office, Dr. Akinde has championed a bold vision of information, innovation, academic excellence, and institutional growth. One of the earliest reforms was the implementation of the Federal Polytechnic Amendment Act 2019, which led to the appointment of 2 deputy rectors for administration and academics.
I'm Dr. Mrs. Charlotte Ilaro, the Deputy Rector of Academics, Federal Polytechnic Ilaro, Ogun State, Nigeria. Today we are celebrating a man of great honor, our leader, and a man who has an open door policy. Who is the man? Dr. Mukail Aremu Akinde, FCA, FCIT, the Rector of Federal Polytechnic Ilaro. When the Rector came on board, he appointed the Deputy Rectors, CPL Lukman Lasisi Ademola, the Deputy Rector Administration, and my humble self, Dr. Mrs. Charlotte Ilaro, the Deputy Rector Academics. Today we are celebrating the 3rd year in office of Aremu and Open Policy Rector.
These roles strengthen governance and ensure effective delivery of academics and administrative excellence.
A brief of the academic achievements since he came on board, 2022. When he came on board, we have 34 programs at ND level. Then we have 36 at HND levels, making a total of 70 programs that we met on grant. And as of today, September 26, 2025, at ND level we have 47 programs, making additional of 13 programs, and 57 at HND level, making additional of 21 programs, which will give us 104 programs altogether.
Beyond this, Dr. Akinde's administration expanded the Polytechnic schools from 5 to 6.
When we came on board, we have 5 schools. So presently we have 6 schools. We have a School of Agriculture, then we have School of Communication, we have a School of Engineering, School of Environmental Studies, School of Management Studies, and a School of Applied Sciences.
The numbers of academic staff with PhDs increased by 40%, ensuring students benefit from high-quality teaching and mentorship. Central to Dr. Akinde's leadership has been student welfare. The pioneering Indigent Student Work-Study Program, the first of its kind in a Nigerian polytechnic, gave economically disadvantaged students the opportunity to finance their studies. This was complemented by enhanced access to net fund intervention.
My name is Dr. Olusegun Omowumi, FCPA, FCAI, the Dean Student Affairs, Federal Polytechnic Ilaro, and the Chairman, Federal Polytechnic Ilaro Students Loan Implementation Committee. On behalf of the Rector of the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro, Dr. M.A. Akinde, FCA, FCTI. I want to thank the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for the lofty initiative of giving loans to indigent students across tertiary institutions in Nigeria. I want to state clearly here that our institution, Federal Polytechnic Ilaro, has benefited from this lofty initiative. When we first started, about 85 students benefited from the loan scheme. And as the awareness increases, we moved to about 100. Now, over 5,000 students have been verified by NEFUND, and we are expecting the disbursement any moment from now.
The Polytechnic Innovation Center unveiled disruptive projects including electric tricycle, biometric systems, renewable energy prototypes, and agricultural machines. Several of these innovations, such as solar-powered tricycle and automated processing equipment, have gained recognitions at national exhibitions. In 2023, Ilaro hosted its 4th international conference in collaboration with Takoradi Technological University, Ghana. Its first ever held abroad. Over 200 papers were presented, amplifying the institution's voice across sub-Saharan Africa. This culture of knowledge exchange extended across all schools, each successfully organizing national conferences, while faculties were supported with institutional sponsorship for publications in global indexed journals. Technologically driven reforms reshaped academic operation. A computerized seating arrangement system and automated lecture timetable were successfully deployed, ensuring fairness and efficiency in exams and class schedules. Biometric system for staff and students strengthened security, while digitization projects secured records dating back to 1979. Identifying card production was internalized, reducing costs and ensuring efficiency. These innovations reflect Dr. Akinde's determination to align with global digital standards. At the heart of Dr. Mukail Aremu Akinde's vision for the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro lies a commitment to infrastructural renewal. His administration has recognized that academic excellence must be matched by conducive learning and working environment, and this conviction has driven unprecedented investment in physical development across the Polytechnic. The School of Management Studies complex was fully completed, providing modern classrooms and offices tailored to needs of students and staff. The School of Art and Design complex was delivered, offering creative spaces that match global standards for training in visual and applied science. For the first time in Polytechnic's history, a story building classroom block was completed, increasing capacity for teaching and learning. The School of Agricultural Science building, complete with furnishing and external works, now provide a state-of-the-art home for agricultural studies. A 2 kVA solar farm was initiated through TED Fund, making Federal Polytechnic Ilaro the only polytechnic in the Southwest to benefit from this intervention. Solar-powered streetlights has been prolificated. A major dam project is on the way, facilitated by Ogunwoshu River Basin Authority to serve long-term water needs. In partnership with Alumni Association, the Polytechnic initiated the construction of new student hostel addressing accommodation challenges for the growing student population. 2 new tractors and farm implements were purchased under a federal government agricultural scheme, strengthening the Polytechnic agricultural training and enterprise capacity. Additional vehicles were purchased, including a new coaster bus for students and staff mobility, official vehicles for council members and principal officers, media. The establishment and commissioning of TV Poly Ilaro opens a new chapter in media training and internal revenue generation. Plans are underway for commercial television station, which will enhance internal revenue and provide training opportunity for mass communication and music technology students. Libraries have books stocked with new textbooks, journals, shelf and desktop computers to support research and teaching. Staff welfare initiative includes Revive Loan Scheme.
As you know this, we are insatiable. We keep on asking for better welfare for our members. And what did you know? The management, each time we will go there, rather than allowing it to escalate, they have tried as much as possible to douse that tension. In the last 15 years or thereabout or more than that, Ilaro has not gone on any prolonged strike. We have had a stable calendar because of this collaborative effort that has produced a synergy that is good to all concerned, both staff, management, and students.
Increased allowances, training support, and resuscitation of staff awards.
I am Dr. Akinde Wasiu Olaiton. I am the Dean of the School of Management Studies of this institution, and at the same time, I am the Chairman of the Staff Development Committee of the institution. The committee is actually in charge of the staff development of the institution, that is seen to the sponsorship of the long-term training of our staff members, as in the MSc program and the PhD program for staff members who may have pursued admissions into various universities and needed to be sponsored. The sponsorship is in two folds. One is from the TET fund, both the long-term and the short-term programs. For the short-term, that refers to those who want to go and to conferences, whether locally or abroad. Whereas the long-term refers to those that embark on higher qualifications from various studies, who we want to pursue their MSc or PhD programs. And apart from that, there's also an internal arrangement for some staff who may not be approved by TET fund. So the management has ways of sponsoring them as well, both the non-teaching staff and academic staff. But when Dr. M.A. Mukail Aremu Akinde, who is the current rector, came into power, he has continued to pursue that program and see to it that as many staff members as possible enjoy that sponsorship. When he became the rector, I think going to 3 years now, in between that period, we have had many more PhD holders in the institution and masters holders as well. It's like it has in fact doubled. In fact, there's never been any application that we are submitted to TET fund that were denied us. If we run into any hitch, when we call on him, if it means he needs to, whether it needs using the institution's resources to make sure that we get that done, he's always been there for us. Personal note, he has even made some suggestions for us And I give you one. There was a time he suggested that in order to make sure that fairness and equity is ensured in that sponsorship, especially among the non-teaching staff, he suggested then that instead of allowing staff members to just go to any conferences or workshops that may not even really be of any benefit or just little benefit, that why don't we make arrangements with the administrative staff college of Nigeria, that's ASCON in Badagry, that we can be having our staff members trained, there, and because of the status of that institution, the ASCON, that will be sure that our staff members will be adequately trained, and that will also increase the productivity of our staff members. And so when that was also, he instructed me that I have to go there and get in touch and make arrangements for that. So when I heard that, I visited that the organization, that the college, and we were able to make some arrangements, and we signed a memorandum there, and day after we began. And I want to say that several staff members have enjoyed that, and I think we have done about 2 or 3 batches now. And that pertains to not only junior staff, but it cuts across all cadres, both junior staff, both senior staff, and even among the management, a lot of them. And so our staff members, when they came back, they really appreciated that. And the fact, a lot of them really confessed to the fact that never thought that they could enjoy that opportunity. So in order to boost the morale of our staff, we made the arrangement, and so it cut across now. So there's fairness, there's equity in the selection, and that has actually really improved the quality, the service delivery of this institution. I want to say that at the moment, in fact, there's virtually no department where there's no any staff undergoing PhD program at the moment. Apart from that, and that also includes masters too. So very many staff members are enjoying that at the moment. Apart from, although that's also based on quota, but then the fact that every department is taken care of. On that note, on behalf of the entire member of that committee and myself, I want to really appreciate the quality of Rector, Dr. Akinde.
Poly Consults. The Polytechnic Commercial Hub was revitalized with improved water factory and bakery operations. For work-life balance, sports was promoted with the creation of Directorate of Sport, upgrade staff club, and monthly exercise program. Participation in NISPOGA yielded medals, and Polytechnic is bidding to hold NISPOGA with an extended TED intervention of 2 billion. Dr. Mukail Aremu Akinde's leadership has been nothing short of informative. His administration has positioned the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro as a model of excellence in Nigeria's tertiary education landscape.
My name is Dr. S.R. Mohammed. I'm the current board chairman of the Poly International College, Ilaro. The school was established on the 18th day of September 2006. Exactly 19 years ago, and the school started with 5 teachers and 28 students. Presently, the number of teachers has increased to 41, while students, they are now over 500. So the first thing that we did in this school, when Dr. Akinde appointed us, he approved the purchase of Hummer bus 18-seater to ease transportation of the school, and thereafter he approved the installation of solar for students in the hostel. And during his tenure too, we got approval from the ministry for the operation of the hostel in the school. Apart from that, the upgrading of the school was actually upgraded to senior school, which we got approval from the ministry. It was Dr. Akinde who gave the approval for this. And besides, the school was actually a single school, that is single college. But when Dr. Akinde came on board, the school was unbundled into both senior and junior schools. We have a principal for junior, we have principal for senior, and some other management officers for both schools. And this has actually enhanced administration of the school, which has improved the standard of the school as well. Apart from this, we also, during his tenure, we also approved the improvement of the ICT. The ICT now has actually gotten more computer systems, and we also have so many other things that he has done during his own tenure. And presently, the board, under the leadership of Dr. Akinde, has constructed the 5-classroom building, which will be the first to be done by the board. So we have done that through the IGR of the school. It was Dr. Akinde who even encouraged us that we should do that. We gave approval, and the building can actually accommodate many more students. So apart from the 5 classrooms there, we have a new principal's office, that is the principal of the senior school is there. The 2 VPs, we have their offices there. The counselor and the registrar, we have officers there. Their offices are there. So, and the building has about 9 toilets. Yes, 9 toilets, which has actually been done under the administration of Dr. Akinde. Apart from that, it was during his first year that he gave approval for the PTA executives to construct visual arts and home economics lab, which they have actually done. So the enhancement of the activities of the school has brought about significant increase in the academic performance of the students. Presently, the students who sat for the last exam, the WAEC exam, we were able to record more than 80% success rate. And for the NECO, we were able to record more than 96% success rate. For Becker exam 2, we were able to record 100% success rate, which we have been able to achieve through Dr. Akinde. At the boardroom which we are in presently, it was during his tenure that this boardroom was actually created. We have different offices, more offices for staff, with the help of Dr. Akinde.
Tolabio is my name. I'm the principal of the junior school, Poly International College.
I am Aremu Akinlolu, the principal of the senior school, Poly International College.
On behalf of all of us at Poly International College, the principals, the staff, and the entire studentship, we say hearty congratulations to our father, the proprietor of the college, Dr. Mukail Aremu Akinde, the rector of the Federal Polytechnic, Ilaro, on this glorious occasion of the 3rd anniversary of his rectorship at the peak of the administration of the Polytechnic. We thank God for the feats that have been recorded within these few years, and we pray that the power of God shall continue to be your companion even to the end of the journey.
Amen.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
You are welcome to the Directorate of Town and Gown. I am Dr. Adebisi Folake Oshuri, a directorate in Town and Gown. I got here in 2022 after the expiration of my tenure as a registrar of the Federal Polytechnic, Ilaro. When I got to this office, it was an empty office. I met an empty with a ramshackle table and chair. I must start from this angle so that you will know the capacity of the rector, Dr. Akinde. When I got here, this directorate was established a couple of years ago before Dr. Akinde came on board. But when I got here, there was nothing, no grant to fall back on. From the aspect of furniture, the entire office was empty. No table, no chair, no furniture, nothing. And so I sat down and marked out my strategy on what I have to do to make this place work. I fell back on the virtue of Dr. Akinde, knowing that he's a man who wants to add value to his staff in terms of capacity building. He puts round peg in round hole so that it will enhance the effectiveness and efficiency of his workforce. It was on this basis I put up a paper so that I can think straight. I can think straight because it is when you are in a very cozy, conducive atmosphere, that's where you can function. And so I put up a paper on what I want in this directorate. And Lord and behold, it was done within a twinkling of an eye. And I promised myself that, for this kind of man to do, you can see the furniture, very beautiful office. I have to make this office function maximally. And by definition, down. And by policy of government, the institution is supposed to rub on well on the community, the host community who has provided a conducive atmosphere for the gown to function, to maintain academic stability for so many years now. In Ilaro community, they are hospitable. They love the Polytechnic. They provided enabling environment for us to function. You know, because the Polytechnic couldn't accommodate the teeming student population. Almost 60% of our student population, they live in town. And the community provided hospitable environment for them. No clash, no trouble. There's what we call the conducive atmosphere. We are coexisting peacefully. And so I put off a paper last year that let us organize a training program for the youth of the town so that we will equip them with the capacity they need to function, especially now that the youth are just roaming about without any focus. I put up that paper that we should enhance their entrepreneurship capacity, and this is a corporate social responsibility CSR. Upon sending that proposal to the rector, my lord, Oga approved everything for us. And so we worked with the committee of the Orona for 2024. And so we organized the financial backing Once it has been approved by the rector with some notable chiefs in town and the Department of Art and Design and some other individuals within the Polytechnic, the first entrepreneurial capacity workshop was organized by the incumbent rector, Dr. Akinde. You can see the album is still there. The flex, everything that we used last year was there. And you know, the workshop was organized. It was well attended. It was well attended. The rector was there. The registrar was there with some other principal officers of the Polytechnic. Some of our students were there. Some of our staff were there. Some individuals, notable individuals from town, amongst the chiefs were there. And so the workshop was organized. They were trained on how to produce adire. They were so happy. They were so happy that the workshop was organized for them. For the very first time since the establishment of this Polytechnic in 1979, physically the first town and gown interaction occurred. It occurred and it was massive. When I say massive, it was massive. It was well attended. The attendees were so happy. They were made to produce their own adire that day. And the feedbacks we got after the workshop was overwhelming.
The story of the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro under Dr. Akinde's administration is one of growth, innovation, and resilience, a story that continues to unfold with promise for the future.
The journey started September 2022, precisely 27 September 2022. It was a wonderful day. I was in Abuja. I received a letter of appointment from the then Honorable Minister of Education, and that I now landed in Ilaro on October 7, 2022. And immediately I got in, I hit the ground running. The reason for hitting the ground running is very straightforward. You know, the processes of appointment of rector is cumbersome and rigorous. During the interview, I presented my vision, what I want to do if I'm lucky to become director of the Polytechnic. Of course, the position was contested for, and the contestants, all of them were equally good. God says that I will be the one. So really I got to Ilaro. Like I said, I hit the ground running by combing the vision I presented before the council of the Polytechnic that gave me the appointment. Of course, it's no longer a news that I came first in that selection process. So, checking the vision, I appointed or set up 2 major committees. Immediately, I resumed office. The 2 committees are committees on electricity generation, because before I came here, the challenges has always been electricity. So this first thing I did was to set up a power generation electricity committee headed by Engineer Okoye, who is now retired. The second committee is a committee on sitting arrangement in the examination How do we sit in the examination environment? The automation of the processes of examination. That is the school committee that are set up on the first day of resumption at Ilaro here. Those two committees feature prominently in my vision plan presented to the council during the interview selection. And so far, so good. The Committee on Power Generation came up with two major reports. The report that can generate, that Polytechnic can generate electricity using the stream at Bokoto. They gave us their report and came up with a cost envelope that can lead to generation of power in the Polytechnic. If I'm not mistaken, that cost is about 9 billion. That is not affordable. They also gave us second option, connecting Polytechnic to 33 kVA line or feeder line at Papa Lanto. That was also submitted. And we are following on that. And that has been captured because the cost of doing that appears not too high for us. And that has been captured in our budget, federal government budget of 2024. As we talk, procurement processes are ongoing on how to connect us to the 33 feeder line at Papa Lanto. And that was because the committee gave us an idea that if we cannot procure turbine, that hydropower turbine that will generate electricity for us, we can at least connect to feeder line at Papa Lanto. That's ongoing. Procurement processes are ongoing on that. And that is one of the projects being facilitated by most distinguished Senator Olamilekon Adeola Yayi. Is the one that is helping us because that's one of his constituency projects. We are still striving hard and we know that that will soon be actualized. Now, like I told you, we are running this system with our vision plan presented at the council. Now, we have sat down to analyze the challenges of the Polytechnic. And we now itemize it. We have a checklist picking what we've been doing. Without mincing words, you know that there are so many ongoing projects in the Polytechnic. Like I've mentioned just now, that one, the electricity conundrum will soon be a thing of the past. That's not the only one. We are also planning to have a new administrative building. Like I am telling you, procurement processes are also ongoing. It's about to start. Of course, in that same vision plan, we noticed that because at the interview panel, they asked us that how do we improve the revenue generation of the Polytechnic, and that we are spending so much on electricity. That is diesel procurement, PMS procurement to generate electricity in the Polytechnics. How will you run the Polytechnic given the lean resources? And I told them at the panel that one of the things we do is that we're going to look at costs. There is what we call cost control strategy in running offices. And so I sat down to meticulously analyze the balance of the Polytechnic to study what can we do to reduce costs, because we can't at all time be saying the resources are limited. What about the one we have? How do we deploy it? So having done that, we saw that if we need to run the system efficiently, we need to look at cost of stationery. Of course, in an institution like this, we spend so much in paper, usually by procuring paper, examination booklet, files, A4 papers, a lot of money. I studied it. I saw that we needed to address that. What did we do? As I'm talking now, the Polytechnic has a machine that cuts papers into A4 sizes. We no longer buy using the procurement. We produce in A4 paper ourselves, because I know that if we are able to do that, internal costs will reduce, and whatever we are able to save will be for the generality of the Polytechnic. As I'm talking now, we have a machine that cuts A4 paper into sizes. We no longer procure that now. Not only that, as you are aware, you know what's going on. For the first time in the history of the Polytechnic, through our connection, through the interface, you cannot run the Polytechnic here. That's why we travel a lot. We are able to attract high impact fund of third fund of 2 billion naira for the first time in the history of the Polytechnic. When that money was given to us, like I told you, having analyzed the trial balance of the Polytechnic meticulously, we saw that printing is an issue. We now decided as management at management level, agreed that what we should use that money for is to start a new school called School of Art and Design and Printing Technology. Of course, the project will soon be delivered. You know the location. In that project, we will have a new school called School of Art and Printing Technology. When we came in, we have only 5 schools. We have added one, making 6 schools. Another one is about to be added. We have added one, that is the School of Agriculture. Another one will soon be added to make 7. That is the School of Art and Design and Printing Technology, to make 7. That means within 3 years, we have added 2 new schools to now make a school. And the focus of that new school, that's Printing Technology and Art and Design, is that we want to start printing all our stationery internally, because in that center, we have a printing laboratory that will be for the benefit of the Polytechnic, the benefit of the entire community, because in the Ilaro area here and the environment and the environment rather, we do not have printing press. That printing technology will stand as a printing press that we're going to produce our convocation pamphlet, files, all that we use as stationery. Like I said, why we are going in that direction is that we want to reduce cost. When you want to maximize benefits, you reduce costs. The cost you reduce will add to the benefits that will be enjoyed by staff. I know that that school will soon be completed. We now have 7 schools plus School of Art, it will make a school, suggesting that we have introduced 2 new schools. Another thing that I want also to know from our philosophy presented at the interview is that we saw that Polytechnic has Aremu of land, huge land resources, 898 hectares of land. At the interview, it was presented that farming should be an option. We can't have such a large, huge land resources without using it. So one thing that we have also done is that we have resuscitated the farm, and that as you are doing these 3 years, you can see that electricity is now going to the farm, because the former rector has invested so much on fabrication of a lot of equipment in that farm. We now want to connect that farm so that we can have electricity to be producing gari, producing pancane oil right inside that farm. And of course, we now know that we now have cassava plants and we now have poultry. That's also ongoing. And that led us to reasons why School of Agriculture was created. Recall that I told you during my interview, I was there. I was the chairman of the strategic plan of the Polytechnic. In fact, I did the current strategic plan that we are also doing another one that will expire December 2025. I was the one that did it with other members of the committee. I understand everything that is inside that strategic plan. When I was made the chairman of strategic plan, I came to this office. I never knew I would be sitting down here today. I asked the former rector, Architect Olusegun Olanrewaju Aluko, I asked him that we saw I inherited the job from late Dr. Rahim Oloyo, who was actually the chairman of strategic plan, who gave Aluko what he used. So when Aluko made me the chairman, now I came here to ask him that why is it that you didn't start School of Agriculture, because it's actually in our strategic plan. And his answer that time was that the School of Agriculture cannot be started that time because we only have one department, and that is School of Agric Technology. That was noted in my diary. So immediately I have the opportunity, I triggered that on by creating that School of Agriculture. You now know that that School of Agriculture is not only, it has many departments. For example, we have Department of Agriculture, Department of Agri-Tech, we have Fishery now, we have Animal Production Technology, Animal Health, Agric Extension, Horticulture. We have about 6 or 7 departments in that department now. That will also take us to what we have done in the past 3 years. You know, like I told you at the beginning, the journey started September 27, 2022. Today is September 26, 2025, marking 3 years of our administration. This administration has invested hugely on accreditation. We have done about 4 accreditations. We did one in 2020, we did 2 in 2023. We have also done additional 2 this year. And that has also informed you that our program has extended. You now know that the program we earlier on had about 34 departments. Presently, we have about 48 or 49 departments, and with about 105 programs, suggesting that the academic programs that we run has increased. Not only that, all our programs are duly accredited by National Board of Technical Education, ably led by Professor Idris Bugaji. We do not have programs that are not accredited, so we are very free now. So I'm talking about the fact that, one, there is remarkable program expansion. Let me also say that that has also improved our student population. That has also improved our student population. When we came in, the population of our students was about around 10,000 to 11,000. Today, as I speak, the population across those number of programs is about 21,000 students. That is phenomenal. That is also suggesting that the investment of government in us is actually translating to the training of youth for the future. Now, infrastructure. There are a lot that has happened. I will mention very few because we will still have a better day to chronicle what we have done over years. A lot has happened, like I said, School of Art and Design, School of Agriculture. We have classroom. Of course, it is to your notice that for the first time in the history of this Polytechnic, we have a classroom that is a story building. We have never had, all we do have is a bungalow as classroom. And the philosophy that is driving us is that we want to have a classroom that is iconic, that will attract students so that when they are being taught in the classroom, they will be willing to listen to the lecturers. That's why we have that edifies there. And of course, you also know that we have another classrooms ongoing that is been handed over with solar energy in it, provided by TED Fund. That is there. The 250 hostel facility for female and male will soon be handed over. I think that we should use that one this forthcoming session. Of course, you know that the School of Management Studies is now being completed. We are now using it. Let me also say that road construction. The former rector had started the road in Bokoto, but he was unable to complete it. But to his administration, the work is ongoing in Bokoto Road, and that will also soon be delivered. So, of course, people are saying that they don't know whether we have television. I want to tell you that they will soon know we have television, because what we want to do is I want to put that television at the doorstep of the community. Do not forget that I said our capacity is about 21,000 students. You can see that it's win-win situation for both the Polytechnic and the community. You now see Ilaro as a city, particularly when the senator has been able to help us to ensure that we have a good road connection, so our students can now move from one place to the other, so that Orita, Library, Bogide, over time is now bubbling. Because of Senator Olamile Konyaya, we now want to appreciate it towards the end of the, appreciating towards the end of this short discussion. Staff welfare is also our top priority. The former rector did a yeoman job on staff development. When he left office, we have about 44 PhD. Today, as we speak, we have about 64 PhD holders, and more are still coming. Long-term sponsorship, long-term training of TED Fund, our staff are benefiting. Not only that, for the first time in the history of this Polytechnic, we also extended TED Fund training to the junior staff. So they also went to ASCON recently, and they enjoyed that training. Not only that, you can also attest to the fact that we have also resuscitated staff award. Awardees staff are awarded last year. The committee will soon start. You can see that our award is not only letter. We give them letter of congratulations, just like cash award. All this is to reset productivity in the system, because if staff is happy, they are happy to drive the development of the Polytechnic. So we are not doing badly. Yesterday, staff played a football match. They told us that Rector and registry, and I was also there to witness it. The registry and other division under us won the football match, and they are also going to Aushi. So we are not doing badly. And on our promotion, promotion is one thing that is also key to motivation. We don't joke with our promotion. We've completed our promotion for this year, and that we know that those that will be promoted will soon have the information. And that all of us, let me also say that the little we have achieved, I'm not doing it alone. Together as a team with my two deputy rectors, very hardworking deputy rectors, Tamprana Lukman Lasisi, deputy rector administration, deputy rector academics, Dr. Mrs. Charlotte Eroidoro, the registrar, the bursar, Mr. Maruf Akinola, the librarian, Dr. Bisi Atuluma. We are all working together as a team. You know, I usually tell you. And I said that it's like a football team. You have 10 Messi on the field, and very good goalkeeper. That goalkeeper of that German team. If the 10 players on the field are not playing together, they won't achieve anything. Whatever we have achieved, I want to tell you for free. We are working together with the Deputy Director administration, Tampala Lukman Lasisi, Deputy Director academics, Dr. Mrs. Roidoro. That's also there. We have my very amiable registrar, Mrs. Babatola AF. She's also there. What about the librarian, Dr. Bisi Atulomo? And the exchequer, the boss of the Polytechnic, Mr. Moruf Akinla. We are working together, and we can't even do it alone without very vibrant academy board members. No, I'm the chairman of the academy board. HODs, deans of schools, academic directors, and not even to talk about the management committee that has also shared. We have a lot of directors there that we are together pushing what we are doing forward so that the Polytechnic can be better for it. I must also tell you that without students, we can't be here. This Polytechnic is situated there because of students. So if we do not have students, whatever we have achieved is meaningless. So we have a lot of innovation. Is this fabrication? We were in Abuja to compete with other polytechnics, a course of competition organized by the Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Alausa, who organized that competition through the Director of Polytechnic and Allied Matters. We were there in Abuja. The Polytechnic came first. We beat every other Polytechnic. That is also confirming that this is the Polytechnic of pride. And that is why you can see that it is the best sought Polytechnic. Why many Polytechnics are looking for students. We are not looking for students because students are willing to come here. Why are they willing to come here? One, they are guaranteed that there is a stable academic calendar. I got here in 2022. Ever since I've been here, we have not had any crisis in terms of student unrest, in terms of staff unrest. Things are moving on peacefully. That is not we are not getting that a la carte. And I must say that as I've also appreciated the council earlier on, because council is our employer, led by Alhaji Garba Gashua. He's our employer, he's our chairman, he's a wonderful man, a very good man. The same thing is at the alumni. The alumni. Of course, how else will I thank the alumni? I am an alumnus of the Polytechnic. I graduated here in accountancy in 1993-1994 set. I did my ND here. Just like I told you, I started as a clerk. And having done my ND here. And also, you know that before I became rector, I was the vice chairman of the alumni. So, the alumni is one of the platforms I use to get to this office. So they have also been wonderful. You can see their efforts everywhere in the Polytechnic. One, they have completed the hostel. Students are now living in the hostel that we have in the campus there. They also know accountancy is also another wonderful set of alumni. There is a project, massive project ongoing, courtesy of the alumni of accountancy. They are giving us 100 or 200 capacity accountancy laboratory. Doing wonderfully well. And you know, alumni is ably led by Mr. Tadi Ademola, who is also incidentally a member of the council. Yes, we are working together as one big family. Whatever we have achieved, I want to tell you, we have achieved together with the principal officers, with the council, alumni, staff, and students. So I have joy to be happy. But I must end this discussion by thanking God Almighty, the I am that I am, the giver of life, who has given us this opportunity. Like I told you, do not forget that I told you at the beginning that this position was well competed for. I am not the best, but God said that I am the best. I won it, and I'm here. I must appreciate that God Almighty. I thank you. I must also appreciate the council who we are working with, because if we do not have council that is understanding, our council, they don't interfere in our internal administration. That is wonderful. What we need to do, and we are also doing we are doing what we should do. We are doing what we should do as good as it is. We are open. Our administration is open. So the council knows what we are doing. We don't do anything without the approval of the council. We must thank the council for giving us that platform. Not only that, the staff, we must thank them. I must not end this discussion without thanking the community. Using Kabesi, the paramount ruler, His Royal Majesty, Oba Ashade Agunleye for Gbadewole Kehinde. I must thank him. You shouldn't be surprised. A polytechnic that has about 21,000 students. We have less than 1,000 students staying on campus. That is affirming the fact that a huge number of our students are staying off campus. How do you think we can manage them without the support of His Royal Majesty Oba Kehinde Gbadewole Ashade Agunleye for? Without him, there's no way we can be interfacing in what is happening in town. Not only that, I must also appreciate every security architecture that we have in the town, from the area command, the police, the DSS, the road safety, and everyone that is involved. Particularly, we also have what we call PICOF, Polytechnic Ilaro Community Forum, that is ably headed by my very good friend, Onimuero, Chief Onifade Amole. She's been supportive, and I must also thank the